Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Outlawed Picks podcast. It's been a while, hasn't it? You were literally just saying the same thing. It's been a minute, and we've missed you guys. We appreciate you tuning in, of course. We're talking about UFC 321. When was the last time we were here? UFC 180? Something like that. It's been a minute, hasn't it? Well, first of all, you fought like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So tell everybody how you're feeling.
Good.
A bit more chill than you were for the last 3 months.
Yeah, that's true. A bit more chill. Just like happy to get a win, especially on such a cool card, cool event. I had a great time while I was out there. It was a lot of fun. I got to train with really cool people. I've spoke about this, but Sean Strickland was awesome out there. I had Pierre, who was a...
We gotta fix it. Sorry.
You're the one that put it there.
I know. I was in the wrong place though. I want to make sure people can hear you. There we go. That's better.
Yeah. So it was just overall a lot of fun. And I'm just looking forward to being back out there and getting another fight. Just continuing.
Yeah, Vegas basically. Was good. Yeah. Vegas was a lot of fun. What else? I'm double Pantered up today. I have my new Cowboys from Hell hoodie and my Cowboys from Hell t-shirt. I was going to wear my Dime Bag t-shirt, but I think it's...
Did you plan to do?
No, I just... no,
a Superman reveal?
No, I just thought to myself, I've double Pantered myself. We've been to see a bunch of shows. We went to see the Cavalier Brothers at the House of Blues.
That was sick.
Amazing. What else? We went to see Pantera in Vegas. That was a few weeks before your fight though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
at the
September.
T-Mobile. We went to see it and we were on the floor where the cage was going to be.
Yeah, and to get there, we had to go through
the walkway and everything.
Yeah, through the walkway, where it is backstage. They bring you to your dressing rooms, and then you get that a lot of chaos going on. It's never peaceful.
Yeah,
the backstage is always chaos.
But we planned for it this time, didn't we?
Yeah,
we planned for it. We got to the gym early and we sat around for 45 minutes and just in the chaos in the gym, just like it would be backstage.
Yeah,
and then when backstage was chaotic. I looked over at you and remember I said, I was we prepared for this. It's felt familiar.
What was funny is when I got there, because they have one of the the blue shirt guys, I call them, walk you over to where your dressing room is. So I was I think behind one of you guys. No, I was in front. So I go in the front and I just see the names and none of them are my name. So I'm like,
oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
They forget me? Okay. Hey, man. Why do I punch you?
It's pretty good, though.
Yeah, no, it turned out they put it in, a little room in the same room. But, in case I wanted to change because all the other were guys and stuff. So that was cool. The mat was tiny.
Yeah. It was good, though, because it was like the Extreme Couture corner team, wasn't it? You know what I mean? So.
And they were jamming to my music.
Of course they were. What did you have on? You had Chasing Status always. You had some Prodigy on.
Yeah.
I had a lot of Prodigy on this training camp.
I did.
Been listening to a lot of Amel and the Sniffers.
Mm-hmm.
That was your walkout song. Been listening to Jamie's nodding yeah.
Yeah.
What else been listening to?
Oh, we're going to go see them.
I just showed Jamie Hannaby.
Oh,
Wheel
yeah.
of Sweets. You got to check it out.
That is deceivingly
She's got
crazy.
A great voice. And obviously we've been listening to a lot of Sepultura and Cavalier Brothers, which were amazing.
We can get into the podcast.
Yeah, we'll do that. So we're doing main card only. There are some good fights on the undercard. But we're just going to stick with the main card. We stayed up and watched the fights last night, didn't we? What an awkward situation with that stoppage. They're the kind of same. Jake Matthews is appealing his, right?
Yes, I think so.
There must be a mechanism where you can appeal and get those kind of things overturned. That was really, I felt real bad for what's his name? Why am I forgetting his name?
I forgot now.
Okay, let's get into this one. UFC 231. So the first fight on the card, have you got the same one, is Aleksandar Rakić versus Azamat Murzakanov.
Yes, I have the same one.
Okay, so Rakić is 14-5. Azamat is 15-0, but Rakić is on a bit of a rough slide at the moment. He's lost his last 3. So I watched that head kick against Jimmy Manuwa again. Bless Jimmy, he's a lovely guy, but man, that was a wicked setup. But But then he had a split decision, lost to Volkan. Then he won to Anthony Smith and Thiago Santos. Then he was doing really well against Jan. He was having some good moments. Jan was cut, and then his knee gave out. And he just has not looked himself in these last 2 fights.
No, I think he's struggling with confidence right now.
You think?
Massively. I think, massively struggling with confidence.
Okay, so here's to dig into that a little bit. I do agree with you. I think he's struggling with confidence, but I don't know whether that's because he was out for 2 years. Look, so Jan Blachowicz was May 14th, 2022. That was when he had the knee injury.
Yeah.
Right? He was back in action April 13th, so minus a month, 2024. Right? So that's 2 years out. Coming back against Jiří Procházka, who's an incredibly difficult person to deal with. But the other thing as well that seemed consistent, which is a concern for me going into this next one, he looked way more comfortable against Procházka when Jiří was orthodox. And when he switched to southpaw, I thought he did good damage to Jiří's leg when he was orthodox. But when he switched to southpaw, it's almost like he doesn't feel confident in the tools that he's got. And then he fights Ankalaev, who's also southpaw, and he just looks uncomfortable there. And now this guy, Azamat, is a southpaw who likes to push forward. It's almost like they found the way that Rakić struggles to win, and then they found the guy that they want to launch off him to get him to 16-0 and get him another win. I think Azamat's good. I do think that he'd be susceptible to the head kicks of Rakić because he does seem to get his head off the center line and get clipped with stuff from time to time. But
he does absorb kicks really well.
He does, but that's because he gets kicked though. You know that because he gets kicked.
Yeah, but when he fought, because I mean, it's not like he looks, No,
I mean, but that's the thing is that's why I kind of feel like they're gonna start giving him Rakić type of opponents to try and build him up because he's not particularly recognizable. There's nothing that stands out about him. Like if he's Johnny Walker, you can put him against anybody and people are going to recognize Johnny Walker.
Yeah, no, that is true. I mean? I had seen some of this guy's fights, and when I saw him on the card, I was like, oh, I've never seen this guy before, and I'm like, oh no, wait, yeah, I have.
Yeah,
several actually.
But
he doesn't fight often. That's also an issue.
No, he doesn't, not particularly. But he's also, I mean, he's beaten some some people that you would recognize. I mean, when he beat Sheffield on the Contender Series, because Sheffield used to fight for PFL, and he came down.
Dude, that was weight class. Nasty.
That was yeah. I mean, he's got good power, flying knees, and very explosive. I kind of feel like he's this is to tee him up to move him towards legitimacy of a title shot. They're planning ahead with this matchup.
Yeah,
is how it feels.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that Rakić can't win. I think he's still got. I think Rakić is much better than he's been in his last couple of fights. I think if we get the same version of Rakić that we got in the first round against Jan, then. But
that's what I'm talking about, the confidence, because he was on a trajectory. People were talking about him. He's tall, he's lean, he looks athletic, he looks the part. Azamat does not look the part. I mean, and
but neither did Rich Franklin. That's why I think they came and dusted Ken Shamrock off to. It's the same situation. Rich Franklin was kind of, normal looking guy, maths teacher, wore brown shorts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's there's not something recognizable about him.
No, I understand. Like I said, I didn't think I knew who he was.
Rakić, then people are going to be like, "Oh, Azamat, yeah, for sure." Murzakanov.
I got him round 2 knockout.
Have you? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I kind of feel like I'm leaning in the same direction.
I think Rakić is going to do actually deceivingly well in the first round, but not think that he's doing that well. And his corner team are going to be like, no, dude, honestly, you're doing well. And he's going to be like, oh, what? And then Azamat is going to come out like, all right, sick of this, right? Because he does that a lot. He has a lot of first round finishes, but then I've heard it time and time again. The commentators go like, oh, he's got a lot of first round finishes. Now he's going to be bad. And he looks a little bit bad, but that's because, he's probably not at the most elite physicality level for his weight class. So he needs a bit of a rest.
Yeah.
But he's so clever.
I've just pulled up UFC stats here, and the reason why is, I mean, he's basically got the height and reach of Kelvin Gastelum.
Yeah, it's like a similar
5'10",
situation.
71-inch reach.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna look really small compared to Rakić.
But Rakić is like that really big muscular person
Yeah, for
doesn't
sure.
realize that they're
Gangly
yeah,
for sure.
It's like, dude, you just get some of his energy and you would be unstoppable, but he doesn't have it. So that's why I'm going Azamat round 2 knockout.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'm going the other way. I'm gonna roll the dice on Rakić. I think if he, bless you, Jamie, I think if he fights long,
yeah,
if he uses straight strikes and he fights with a bit of confidence, then I think he can clip.
Yeah, I never
Azamat
say he
on the way
didn't
in.
have the skill.
No, I know.
I say he doesn't have the confidence to
you
do
say,
it.
No, you said he's not going to win.
Yeah, and
I'm
I gave
saying
you
he is
why.
going to win, and I'm giving you a reason why.
Okay, so you're giving me the exact same reason, but the opposite of the reason I gave you.
Yeah, well, so what's the reason you're giving me that Azamat's going to win?
These people got things to do.
Silence. That was a long silence. Well, don't give them such silence then. What's the reason? Why is Azamat going to win? How's the fight going to go? You said second
Okay,
round
Rakić
knockout.
is going to start. He's going to throw a
look
lot
good.
of kicks with the right leg, a lot of rights. They're going to look good. He's going to be moving. He's going to come back to the corner, be like, how did I do? I don't know. You know, I'm in Abu Dhabi. I'm coming off 3 losses. I was supposed to be this ultra thing, but I'm not. Things aren't going well. And this guy is like aggressive, trying to like get at me. But then the corner is like, dude, chill out. You're doing good. You're doing great. Oh my God, look, your butterfly feels. And he's going to be like, okay, I don't know about this. And then he's going to come out. Then the other guy's going to come in and he's going to be like, all right, I'm going to show you what's up. But more in like, in a Russian way of doing that.
Brother.
Yeah,
Brother.
exactly. I'm going to smash.
Enough.
Yeah. Oh yeah, more like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he's gonna like start walking him down. He's not gonna catch kicks anymore and look for things to be chill. Yeah, he's just gonna chop that lead hand, get it out of the way, hook, boom, left hand, come over the top.
Long right hook. He does have a good right hook.
Yeah, he does have a good right hook. It's gonna be I think it's gonna look a little bit like the Johnny Walker knockout versus Jamal Hill.
The what?
The Johnny Walker Jamal Hill. You know how he felt kind of weird.
Yeah, okay.
I think he's gonna fall kind of weird.
You think?
Yeah, this guy has some crazy power.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Rakić is going to win by head kick knockout.
That's also possible.
No, I think you've got the best pick, but I'm being the antagonist.
Okay.
I think if Rakić is going to win, it's going to be because he's set up a head kick, and I think if he starts with his straight punches, makes Azamat feel like he's on the outside and he's going to struggle to get in, then he's going to have to start thinking about slipping those straight punches.
Yeah.
Right. See, if you're the taller, longer fighter and you throw hooks, you open up the channel that the shorter fighter wants.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're the longer fighter and you fill that center channel, then that person has got to figure out a way around that. Right? So then he starts moving his head from side to side, which is where Rakić can complement with kicks. That's what I would do if I'm him. Whereas if Rakić gets panicky and starts footwork and hooking, then he'll get walked down and backed up against the fence and probably caught with a big right hook. But
yeah, I think he knows that too. But can he do it?
I think he can. I mean, look, he's fought Błachowicz, Prochazka, and Ankalaev, and now he's fighting Murzakanov, and Murzakonov's fought Jacoby, Menafield, and Hibera.
I understand.
It's not the same lineup.
No,
you know what I mean?
It's not. So, but it's still a loss.
Well,
and you still question yourself, and you're still on a 3-fight losing streak. Doesn't matter who it was to, because then at the end of the day, you tell yourself, "Oh, is it like they were really good, or is it that I was never that good?"
Oh, okay. I see. Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Well, I think Rakić can turn it around.
Okay.
Next
fight.
Aleksandar Volkov versus Jailton Almeida. So Volkov's got a tremendous amount of experience. Jailton's got a lot of fights, 25 fights, 22 wins, 3 losses. Rakić is 38-11. 6'3 versus 6'7. Almeida's only got a 1-inch reach disadvantage though. You would think it'd be more. Volkov's 80 and Almeida's 79. I just think Volkov's looked a lot stronger in his last sort of 3-4 fights or so. You know what I mean? It looks like he's finished his back tattoo. He's been in the mosh pit at some heavy metal shows. He's just like, he's fully embraced his Viking self. And I think the power of Odin is going to carry him to victory in this fight. I think Almeida's going to look like a light heavyweight compared to him. I know the stats say that he's 4 inches in height and whatever, but Volkov's just a massive dude, isn't he?
Yeah, we saw him at the PI. He is like deceivingly like big.
Yeah, Avatar.
Yeah, but it's not
White
like,
Walker as he moves. Like,
sometimes you see really tall
sway to
people
him.
and they're like, there's not like much to him, so you just like push him over.
Yeah, can't push him over. He's a big dude.
think
He's
you're
tall and big. And the thing is as well, like the thing that always stuck out with Volkov in my mind, we talked about this before, is how even when he fought Struve, he fought like the bigger fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Like he fought tall compared to Struve, who's I always thought he could have used his reach better, Struve, whereas Volkov, he fights like a tall fighter. I think Almeida's going to have a nightmare getting close to him.
Yeah.
I especially in this last run. Hang on, let me pull up.
I saw when I was like going up the stairs at the PI, Volk was like coming down.
Did he have to duck to get underneath?
No, but he was wearing this like beige pants and like a tucked in like little sweater, and he had like longish like hair.
Yeah, he's grown his hair out.
Yeah, so I was like, I saw him and I was like, wow, you'd never think he could whoop you, like bad.
Yeah,
just looks so whatever. I feel like that in Holland because everybody does Dutch kickboxing there, and
yeah,
don't want to mess with anybody.
I'm just looking at his record. Like, he's lost to. Obviously, we'll be talking about Ciryl in a little while, but he's got a couple of losses to Ciryl. Lost to Tom Aspinall. Lost to Curtis Blades. You know what I mean? The Derek Lewis knockout was.
The thing is, like, I think like those.
Were
like,
we at that, Jamie? Do you remember that? Was it? Yeah, we were. Khabib McGregor, UFC 229. Do you remember when Derek Lewis was just getting pieced up the whole way through, and then unleashed that massive overhand and just melted Volkov on the spot? That was. Do you remember that? That was wicked. That was a great fight. Yeah, UFC 229. First one. Yeah.
But I think the losses have made him a lot better,
For sure.
I like there's some people that they lose, but they're the same fighter their entire career. So their losses are just, oh, okay, he lost to that thing. But not many fighters I've seen have taken losses and really grown and, like just keep adding and keep refining things with not only their game, but their whole character and their presence within the cage. And I think he's somebody that has done that tremendously well. And I think the time, it's not only I feel about the fights that you have with the UFC, but sometimes I think the time within the organization, because it just like sinks in more.
Yeah. He's a different fighter to when he first joined the UFC. He just looks different. He fights different. He's way more powerful. I'm just looking back at his record. Like, he was wrecking guys in his early career.
Oh, his knees are disgusting.
It wasn't until he ran into someone who was, he got a loss on his record. It's a first round armbar. But then he fought a guy called Ibrahim Magomedov, who was 22-7-1. And that's the first person that was able to take him the distance.
The only danger that you can see, like with the Tom Aspinall fight with him, was able to take him down.
Yeah.
Tom was able to take him down and then apply his grappling. And I think like Almeida is somebody who has that possibility. But Tom's striking, and we'll talk about Tom in a sec, but like his mentality was what set that up. It wasn't so much like him wanting to go for the takedown or like wanting to be wrestle focused. Like you can tell with Almeida what he wants to do. I feel after the Curtis Blades fight, he started to be a little bit more aggressive. Like with Curtis Blades, it was just straight wrestling, right? And it was okay. And then the second round, the thing with the elbows and the hammer fist happened. And then after that, he became a lot like more, let his hands go and not so much like teep to a double leg.
Yeah. I was impressed with his wrestling though in that fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was almost like people had not told him how good Curtis Blades is at wrestling.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it also it also really demonstrates the difference. I thought the first takedown in that is a good example of if you were giving a seminar to people about, you know, MMA and what it is, and you go, okay, in wrestling, and this is what wrestling looks like, but this is where wrestling runs aground and becomes MMA. Because there was no doubt on that first takedown attempt, Curtis Blades would have sprawled and gone out of bounds if it was wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But he hit the fence and he was driven up against it, and then it's a whole different thing, you know. And he was taken down like 4 or 5 times, I think. Mm. But then he then became the fighter that is normally his antithesis, the person that can defend takedowns up against the fence and has got those wicked elbows. You know what I mean? And I think that is it's forced Jailton to change his game because he was doing so well.
Yeah. And
that one just kind of fell apart. I mean, it's 36 seconds into the second round. Like, he was looking really good in that one. But then his last 2 fights, again, he's... Romanov is an odd fighter because, like, I mean, he's had the 2 groin shot fights that have come to an end.
Yeah.
But he often finds himself in positions where, I remember that fight in particular, where he's kind of almost, he's like on his knees or something, and Almeida's behind him, and he's kind of like looking over at his corner or something and like shrugging and rolling his eyes, like almost like he's not respecting that he's in a dangerous position. You know what I mean? And this, I thought the Spivak fight was a lot of fun, a lot of fun to watch. He uses that half guard sweep that I was talking about.
I know.
You see it? Yeah,
I saw it. Yeah,
it was nice.
I thought about you when you said it.
There was some really good transitions.
No, his transitions are beautiful. Like I really love, and you don't really see that from a heavyweight. Such smooth transitions.
Yeah.
And
sure.
like that's the thing. Like he's
not
moving.
Really a heavyweight, is he? That's the thing.
No,
you know, he's
exploiting. The lack of heavyweights.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, it's like when he's like against Romanov. Like his thing with Romanov was just like keep him moving, like get him off balance. We were watching a lot of sumo recently, haven't we? In fact, it's starting in an hour, so we need to have that live on the TV. Have you been watching it, Jamie? The sumo wrestling, the Royal Albert Hall.
It's sick.
It's
so
awesome.
Cool.
We got into watching the highlights when we were in camp.
Yeah.
And just like over and over again, just watching the matches.
It was just so relaxing.
Some of them are amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, but they can get crazy. What we started to do is like, okay, you pick what the winner is, and they both come out. Well, obviously, we don't know anything about them. It's not like the fighters.
I mean,
like,
we do now.
So.
We've been watching it quite a bit now. But...
so then we choose, and then like when it's like a little guy versus a really big sumo, and he does like some crazy footwork, or when they start to do that, and they,
like the palming.
Awesome.
I tell you,
they like to the basement.
There was one last night where they didn't even engage. Like they came together and then they were like, no, like you go, and then they started like swiping and slapping at each other, didn't they? But like some of the ones, that I'm going to bring it back to logic and the conversation we're having. But there were a couple where the smaller fighter he'd like arm drag and get behind. And then like push and push, so the bigger fighter started to lean in and then twist and destabilize them and use their size and lack of ability to control their momentum against them. And that's what Jailton Almeida does really well. And if he was fighting a normal tall guy, I would think to myself, he's going to be able to take this guy down purely by keeping him moving and then finding a way to destabilize him. But I just feel like he's just a different cat. Like I just think he's a different type of heavyweight, and I think that's where I don't know. My feeling is that Volkov's going to be able to keep him at a distance and beat him up and frustrate him.
Yeah.
Are you going the opposite way? Not even thought about it. Didn't even do her homework. My goodness.
No, I'm just like
disgraceful.
Because like I saw them both.
Oh, okay.
You know, briefly. So I'm trying to get...
trying to size them up?
Yeah, I'm trying to see, like, who gave me the better energy to be the winner for this podcast.
Okay.
I did think that as well during the time. I'm like, let's see if I'm gonna pick you. I started asking questions and stuff.
The stats are interesting. The way that they're stacked in opposite directions. So you got Volkov, who's got nearly 5 strikes per minute landed, whereas Jailton Almeida's just over 2.5 strikes landed per minute. Striking defense is better for Volkov, but then average takedown, and this is high for a heavyweight, 6.58 per 15 minutes. Like I think Khabib's was like 5 point something, although that's because people get taken down and can't get back up again.
Yeah.
But like considering his takedown accuracy is 60%, and Curtis Blades is one of those people that he was taking down. I'm impressed with his takedowns. I just think Volkov's going to just look like a much bigger heavyweight this time around.
Yeah.
It's raining, and I can hear the ice cream van going around.
There's no more ice cream.
There's no. That's yeah, the ice cream van. What's going on? So which way are you going then? I'm picking Volkov. I think Volkov's going to do it. I think it's probably going to be a decision. It's a 3-rounder, right? This one.
Yeah. I'll pick Volkov too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem on the fence though. You seem like if I made a good argument for Almeida, I could probably sway you in that direction.
No, I just feel like Almeida will probably get the fight to the ground. He has better transitions and better sequences on the ground. I find Volkov's frontal attacks are scary, especially his knees. They're when a tall person knees, that is bad.
Yeah, and he's not got spindly legs either.
No, he doesn't.
Like
They're
hockey player legs.
They were like big legs.
Yeah.
I thought he would be a lot scrawnier than he was when I saw him.
Yeah.
Obviously tall, but you could be tall and scrawny.
Yeah.
But he wasn't, Yeah.
So. No, I mean he's built to be a heavyweight. Because the other thing as well is if you make him any taller, then he starts to lose some of his.
Yeah. I just think maybe it's like the chest area that doesn't look.
You think?
Yeah.
Maybe that's his posture though, because you got to think like we're all a bit rolled forward, aren't we? Because of how we defend for boxing, and if you're 6'7", a lot of people who are 6'7" kind of roll forward anyway because they're the tallest person in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'd be like,
right. He'd be like, stand up right. He's probably 6'9". He's probably taller. Stand up right, bro.
Okay, who are you going? Volkov by what? Decision? Okay, I'll go.
Volkov by decision.
I'll go Almeida round 2 submission.
Oh, okay. You're switching it up, are you?
Yeah.
Rear naked choke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like the most obvious path to victory. If I was picturing Almeida winning, it would be rear naked choke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope Volkov wins though. He's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, up next, Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Bautista.
Bautista. You got to say it like it's a cool name, innit?
Yeah.
Bautista.
Bautista.
Like a badass name.
He's a really cool dude.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, do the stats.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Bossy. So Umar Nurmagomedov 18-1. Mario Bautista 16-2. 1 inch height advantage for Bautista. Reach is the same. Higher striking rate for Bautista. Higher takedown average for Nurmagomedov, as you would imagine. 67% takedown defense though for Bautista. And Nurmagomedov is not like. It's interesting because like you kind of felt like, okay, Nurmagomedov, they're all gonna have the same style as Khabib, but if you look at all the different Nurmagomedovs, right, there is a fluctuation in the style, and if you look at Umar and Usman, because I've watched a lot of Usman recently, of course, there's a similarity in their style in the way that they're kind of like longer and looser. They've got more like a wushu kind of point style of striking, which is way looser and more confident than the majority of fighters in their team. Even like Gadzi Rabadanov is more traditional in his stance, good left hook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas Umar and Usman have got like a really, it feels more flamboyant and more flexible and more difficult to predict.
Mm-hmm.
But just as dangerous in the ranges that you would expect. Like they are just as good a wrestler the other guys in the team. They've just got this flair to their striking, which makes them.
But I think the flair applies to their wrestling as well.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
the way they can go from a kick to squatting down in like a split second, I mean, that would like break most people to try and go at that speed down. But like you can see how that flexibility plays into their wrestling, and how it's just like the takedowns are a little bit lower, and just the way they enter, they can do it less going forward and more waiting on you. Like if you overcommit to them, they can drop their level on the spot and still have enough strength within their frame and their legs. Like you have to be, it's like doing what is it, like pistol squat? Mm-hmm. It's like doing one of those while doing a takedown. It's very difficult, and you need those small muscles really developed, and you can only develop them if you're as flexible as they are. Yeah, which is kind of cool. It's like here comes the kicks, and I like the way that you said wushu, because I hadn't thought about it yet. Because because I had thought more like, oh, it's like taekwondo, they kick a lot, but there is a little bit more of a flair to it than I find with taekwondo. It is a little
more
bit
reaching.
Different.
It's longer and less about power and more about contact.
Yeah, and that like it gets you like.
You know what's interesting is that, like, obviously I know he's not related. He's not even in the same team, is he? But Said Nurmagomedov, his style is like that as well. He's got really long, like extendable limbs. And he's got those spinning back fists as well that are quite effective, like the ridge hands.
Yeah,
which I think a lot of these fighters using.
It might have to do with the style they teach based on their like body composition.
Yeah, I also
like
I do think it's their
more
proximity
of the long
to China though as well.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look at Muslim Salikov, right? Like, he was competing at a high level in China in wushu. That's why his nickname's the King of Kung Fu.
Oh, we saw him at one of the events. Yeah. I was like,
he's
oh,
such
that's
a nice
cool.
guy
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. Didn't we see him in Florida?
Yeah.
When we were visiting your sister, we sat with Umar and that, and Karim Magomedov.
Yeah, we saw him like walking into the lobby.
Yeah.
When nice you said hello, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like he's one of the fighters, and I'm like, he's a pretty awesome. Yeah,
he's
like
got great
pretty
spinning
badass.
attacks. And to have the nickname King of Kung Fu, I mean, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Go on then.
So,
what's your breakdown?
Then we got Mario Bautista. I really like Mario Bautista.
Yep.
Honestly,
you've done a lot of breakdowns on him, haven't you?
Yeah, and
I don't understand what you're saying though.
Mentioned him before and stuff, and it's just like mentally, he's just so strong.
Yeah.
Like so impenetrable.
So what do you say about him in your breakdowns then? You did a breakdown of him against Patchy Mix, didn't you?
Yeah, so when he was fighting Patchy Mix.
So what did you say in that breakdown? Just
that he has like really good wrestling abilities and the ability to like counter wrestle, offensive wrestle, and keep the fight where he wants. He's really tough. He has good boxing, good footwork to follow his like boxing, and he doesn't get caught up in other things. Like he does what he needs to do to get the fight won. Like when he fought Aldo, he was doing really well with the striking till he wasn't, and then what did he need to do to win? He needed to hold him up against the fence. Fair play. He did what he needed to do to win. That's why he's on such a big win streak. And he's, like I said, somebody that has learned, and his losses have been off of like very short notice fights. And you could tell that he's a guy that just, there's like no BS.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't expect any BS in his life. It's not like, for example, was from the same team, O'Malley. There's so much going on outside that Mario is just like, he'll show up and then he'll pack his stuff and then go back. And then with that, and I feel with Nurmagomedov, part of the thing that for me lost him the fight was the loss of focus that he had once Merab started to get takedowns of his own, like not just defend all the time, but then start to attack, but B, start playing into the crowd, because
but Mario's not going to do that, is he?
No, I'm not saying Mario is gonna do that, but like I'm saying it shows like you couldn't do that to Mario is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Right? You couldn't play that with Mario as where you clearly could play that with Umar. Umar is more playful than what Habib appears to be, and I think that shows within the fights. So I don't think Mario is going to be as like scared because he's fighting a Nurmagomedov, and I think that's very important. And something that Merab had was he wasn't scared of the wrestling, he wasn't scared of who he was fighting. And Mario also has like Kyler Phillips that can throw a lot of kicks at him. obviously it's a different style as we were talking about before, but he does have a really good, solid team around him.
Yeah, yeah. And also, obviously, with Umar coming off a loss, I mean, it does two things, right? Because you got to expect that Umar's gonna have pushed to be a different level this time around when he comes in, and Khabib will have pushed him as well, as I'm sure he did with Usman for the rematch with Paul. But I also kind of feel like, you know, like the stigma is kind of broken a little bit. You know what I mean? Like Paul Hughes almost done that in the first fight with Usman, because it was close enough to see vulnerability in Usman, so therefore you go, oh, okay, right, I can see at some point he's going to be beatable, right? And now obviously Umar's been beaten. It's like it's kind of the aura's maybe gone, but then they've probably potentially leveled up, like Islam did after he lost to what's his name? Why am I forgetting?
Like Diego or something.
No. Spacing on it. It'll come back to me. You know what I mean? Like that made him a better fighter, and I think that loss to there was a lot to take from that Merab fight to be digested and to pull apart.
Yeah,
you know?
but then I saw in some little Instagram quotes, but him saying like, I'm gonna get revenge on Merab.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the right way to go about it.
Yeah, maybe not. But then if he's fighting to beat Merab, then he's going to be better than everybody else in the division, because Merab's the best in the division. So
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like maybe that's his perspective. I don't know whether that means he's going to underestimate Bautista.
I think Bautista is somebody who is like very easy to underestimate.
Merab attempted 30 takedowns in that fight against Umar.
Okay.
He was successful with 7. But out of all of that, he got 2 minutes 22 of control. 7 takedowns, 2 minutes 22 of control.
Yeah, I don't think
that's mad, isn't it?
Mario can hold him down.
No.
I think.
But then it goes. I mean, Umar attempted half as many takedowns, 15, successful with 2, and got just over 90 seconds of control. I wonder whether Umar's gonna come out and waste the energy trying to take Bautista down to begin with.
I think he's gonna have something to prove, right? And then he's gonna go out and gonna be in Abu Dhabi and gonna go crazy.
You reckon?
And I think Mario must make it go crazy, because initially they were talking about having this fight in Vancouver and it being 5 rounds, and now this is the first time Mario's leaving the country since he was 11, and the first time he went to Mexico, so it's the first time he's traveling outside of the country, right?
Is that right?
18-hour flight he's there maybe 8 days before. I think I heard, so that's not a lot of time.
Damn.
So first of all, first time you travel, really, not
he's
counting.
He's gonna be on jet skis and all kinds of stuff.
No,
he's not.
He wouldn't do that. But it's still like, even for no matter how focused you are, a travel is something that does, whether you want it or not.
Oh yeah,
it's
sure.
like, especially if you're not used to traveling, that's crazy.
Yeah,
it's bizarre.
Whereas Umar's gonna be like second home there, isn't he? Everything's gonna be familiar to him because he's been there training. People are gonna be looking after him and setting him up with things. And
yeah, but not only that, but the fight changed from possibly being 5 rounds, which I think would have benefited Mario, because I think Mario is one of those guys that has a very strong tank. Like, I've seen him in fights in the third round. Like, he can push if he needs to the entire time, and I think he knows that he needs to push the entire time.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's 3 means he needs to push a lot faster.
So you taking Bautista then? Do you think he's going to do it?
I'm taking Bautista.
What, decision?
Decision, yeah.
I kind of feel like it's going to go the distance. I feel like Bautista's going to be scrambly enough, strong enough, tough enough, and have good enough takedown defense and sub-defense to at least keep himself in the fight. I just kind of feel like he might get a little bit outworked in the MMA sense. The longer Umar spends striking, the more Bautista will pick up his pace. A little bit Max Holloway in that regard, you know what I mean? Like, I've not looked at the stats, but my memory of him is that he starts off fairly strong and then gets stronger. Let me just have a look at his last fight. Yeah, well, I mean, 43, 65, 65. But his output increases as the rounds go on. 91 strikes, 103 strikes, 108. So I kind of feel like if Umar comes out and goes MMA straight away, striking, takedown attempt, striking, scramble to the back, striking, and just constantly keeps that pace up for 3 rounds, then he's just going to be able to fill the time enough with stuff to shut Bautista out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's kind of what the kicks do.
Yeah. But the wrestling as well. Like, I don't think he can do it with just striking. I think he has to use his wrestling mixed in amongst it, even if he's not winning those exchanges, and not get discouraged. Like, he attempted half as many takedowns against Merab as Merab attempted against him. And that's not a conditioning thing. That's a mentality thing.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what I'm saying.
Bautista, and I had this same conversation before, and you were like, oh, no, whatever, on the last podcast. And
you can.
I'm
I
still
often say, oh, no, whatever. I often say that, don't I? It's like, that was a good impression of me. Oh,
I
no,
forgot that we were doing the big podcast for like a second. It was just more like in the moment of the annoyance that I felt for not picking Bautista that time.
Okay.
Like, I've had this conversation with Ryan and everything.
So you're not making that mistake again.
I'm not letting you. And I said, the next time Mario's going to fight, I'm going to pick him. And then I saw Umar, and I was like, oh. But I'm sticking to it. I'm picking him.
I think Umar's going to win a decision.
Okay.
I think it's going to be... I think Bautista's probably going to start to get into it in the 3rd round when Umar's starting to slow down. But I think Umar's going to come out. He's going to set a pace in every range. And he's going to win the first 2. He might even have a scary 3rd round with Bautista, really putting his foot on the gas. But I think Nurmagomedov wins the decision. Yeah. Okay.
So does like 99% of everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, he must be a favourite, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Women's strawweight title. Virna Jandiroba against Mackenzie Dern. So this is a rematch. Mackenzie Dern won the first one. But it was a while ago.
Like 5 years ago, I
believe.
Yeah,
was it 2019? I think. I watched it back earlier. It's a good fight. You can see though that 2020. You're right. 5 years ago. You can see that Virna's like I'm going to stay away from her grappling, even though that's where I win almost all of my fights. Like, she's got like 15 submissions on her record or something. But
she's like an octopus when she gets anywhere near you. It's like far, and then when she gets on top, it's almost like her body doesn't have bones. It's just.
But you see, so like this is the thing is like I think unlike Jailton Almeida when he fought Curtis Blades.
Yeah.
No one told Almeida that he wasn't supposed to be able to take Curtis Blades down as many times as he did. So he did it, and it was successful, right?
Right.
It's like someone told Virna, don't take the fight to the floor because she's better than you at jiu-jitsu. So therefore that then educated her whole game plan. Obviously, she probably made that assumption herself, but I think that kind of worked against her.
Especially at the time, like with how, like Mackenzie, wasn't just transitioning. She obviously had been doing it for a while, but like there's a lot of female names now that are coming up. But at that, like Mackenzie was.
She was way more
the name,
yeah, for sure.
Like it was the name, and like kind of how Gordon Ryan is right now.
But that's the thing is that's where I feel like that was the wrong game plan for Virna in the first fight, because if you look at the way Mackenzie fights, like and what I will say, I think Mackenzie's striking has gotten better from that fight, and probably partly because of that fight, because she was forced to strike more than she would have chosen to normally. I think. She's effective at moving forward striking, and she's gotten better at that. But she still has the habit of getting out of shape when she's pushed back, right? So by Jandiroba moving around and being the counter striker, she was getting the best side of the coin of Mackenzie's striking.
Yep.
Right? On the flip side, when it comes to grappling, because she is jiu-jitsu confident, in her mind, she's not bothered whether she's bottom position or top position, which is a miscalculation for MMA, right? And if you let her go forward when she's striking, then she's going to dictate when she's going to grapple, which means she's more likely to land on top, which means you're automatically getting the better MMA side of her game. Whereas if Virna was aggressive, even if she ended up on the floor, at least she's pushing forward and forcing Mackenzie to grapple on a different time schedule, right? Mm-hmm. But the other thing as well is if Virna was able to get her to the floor and force... Because Mackenzie's not... Like, she's not stable in the clinch, right? And sometimes I feel like she does the Fabricio Verdun where she plays possum. Like, she'll get hit and it won't really hurt her, but she'll fall over and hope they run into her guard, like she did with Jessica Andrade, mm-hmm. right? And Andrade was like, no, stand up. I'm going to keep punching you. I feel like the smart thing for Virna to do would be to be more aggressive with her striking, so she gets the weaker version of Mackenzie's striking because she's moving backwards. And she's more aggressive with her grappling because Mackenzie will quite happily accept guard. Like, she pulls guard often. But while ever she's on guard bottom, you're focused on sub-defense and ground and pound. Virna's winning the fight there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's almost, it's beneficial to be aggressive no matter what range she's in.
Yeah.
Because the more space she gives Mackenzie, the more problematic she's going to be. And she's better at being the attacker than being the aggressor.
Yeah.
Well, does that make sense?
No, that does make sense. Like today when I was watching the Ribas fight with Dern, it got to like the point where Ribas was on top and like doing quite all right for herself, you know. Mackenzie kept looking to transition onto mm-hmm. things, and of course, you know, as she proved, she was always dangerous, but she was losing the round from being in just being in the bottom and taking the shots. And I remember because I was lifting at the time and I went to get something, and as I turned around, it was something that the way Ribas like moved, I was like armbar, and I turned mm-hmm. around and like it was there.
Yeah.
It was right away, like a tiny mistake. You could see that her hips are ready to go, and she just has. It's like it's different the way that she's on the ground. She's a lot more like spread out. Mm-hmm. I'm talking like on the bottom. Like sometimes people get really linear and stiff, and like she's using every part of herself to hold on to you, to pull, like all the muscles are working at the same time in this push-pull dynamic, and you can see it all playing. And I think that's a big difference when somebody's a good grappler or not, when you see that kind of familiarity and that comfort and confidence to do that.
Yeah.
And
I always remember it with BJ Penn, how he's like it's like his legs are doing things that he's not paying attention to.
Yeah,
they're just kind of working as they're
built in.
But that also can be a trap though in MMA because that reactionary skill set that she's got is jiu-jitsu. So that's why I'm saying say for one thing that Mackenzie's really good at is when someone's rushing her. She gets a wrap of their head. She's very good at the hip toss, mm-hmm. but she creates so much momentum, and she's not really very controlling when she lands. That even if Virna's on the receiving end of that throw, I still feel like she's going to have a better chance of scrambling to top position than she would dealing with Mackenzie trying to take her down and then trying to sweep to top position or defend the takedown. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So it's almost like being more aggressive with the striking is going to get the easier version to deal with of Dern. That's the way that I'm seeing it. I just don't know as Jandiroba is going to make that adjustment. And I think because Mackenzie's now, I think she made the wrong decision the first time that they faced, and now Mackenzie's gotten better than that. So I think Mackenzie's going to.
Mackenzie's going to do it.
I do.
Well, she's the only one doing publicity for the fight. I think she's going to be tired of all the publicity. She's carrying the whole publicity of the fight on her shoulders.
It is a good point.
Jeez.
Yeah, I just think... I mean, she can be very reckless with her striking, and it can be very messy.
But she's always like game. Like, you got to give her credit, 100%. Man. I remember 100%. Watching the fight with Lemos, and like, man, she didn't quit on the stool.
No.
You know?
100%. Look, no, absolutely she's game. But like, this is the thing is like, she's either game moving forward confidently with straight punches crashing into her own takedowns, or she's game on the fence, slipping punches with and trying to counter, and not slipping like slipping like heads all over the place. You know what I mean? Like, she's game and she'll scrap, but Virna can choose one or two paths. Like, do you want the effective and aggressive, more technical striker, more dominant in top position version, or do you want to choose the path of aggression yourself and have her on the back foot, out of shape, chin in the air, or not defending her head at all, and then pulling guard against the fence like she did against
a few people. I think she did
she did it against Loopy in the last round as well, when she cut.
Mm-hmm.
What fight was that? But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you've seen her in that position a few times. Like, that tendency to I'll be on bottom position because my jiu-jitsu's good is just a bad look if you don't win by submission. Like, I mean, look at what Derrida looked like after a couple of sub attempts yesterday. Like, and he was even in that inverted triangle setup position that he caught. Is it Nastyukin with the where he reaches and grabs with his legs, but you get shut down twice, and he's like, nothing left. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be the game I'd be trying to play if I was Jandiroba. And it's risky, but it's better than being on the back foot trying to counter strike, because she doesn't have the striking for that, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think Dern's going to do it. I think she'll sub her.
I think she'll sub her.
I do. I think she'll be able to. I think she'll be able to control from top position and strike her enough to force her out of bad position, and I think she'll sub her.
She has a lot more 5-round experience as well. Like,
yeah.
You know,
yeah, she does. Yeah.
Even though she doesn't have as many fights on her record, like. And very smart of Virna to come out with those knee sleeves, because, oh my God, I swear it burns for like weeks. It's no matter how hard you were punched, nothing is worse than like.
The worst.
Oh my God! Like, how do they make such a horrendous material?
Yeah, it is rough.
It's so bad.
Yeah. Fortunately, I could never.
Fair play to people who shoot takedowns.
Yeah. Fortunately, my wrestling and grappling suck, so I always try and avoid it. But I remember the burns on my back from being pinned. No, it is.
It's horrible sandpaper.
It's the same thing with the cage, though. Like you'll hear sometimes you'll hear people in the corner shouting cheese grating in their hands. And it's like, that's because somebody's up against the fence with a body lock, and their hands are pinned between the back of the person and the fence. So then the person who's in the body lock position can just go up and down the fence and just grate their hands against the fence. It's not nice. Yeah. It's not nice. Get your fingers tangled up in there. And
you're kind of convincing me for Dern.
No, you can't be changing your mind.
All right. Let me go with Jandiroba.
Is that who you were going with originally?
Yeah, I was going to go with her.
Okay, yeah.
Decision.
You're going with Virna by decision?
Yeah. Yeah, she's got the aerial blessing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I think Mackenzie's going to do it.
She's got a lot of people blessing.
She's got a lot of support, you could say. A lot of people backing her. A lot of people behind her. A lot of people on the Mackenzie Dern train. My goodness, a lot of thirsty young men in this fan base, isn't there?
Like, the comment section is so funny. Like, men of culture, seeing like, bless the cameraman. Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, okay, main event. Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane for the heavyweight title. Let me get stats up. Let me have a quick look at the stats. Where are we? What a fight this is going to be. And I'm fine. I'm glad that Tom is like recognized heavyweight champ now. It felt long overdue. So 15-3 for Tom Aspinall, 13-2 for Ciryl Gane, 1 inch height advantage for Tom, 3 inch reach advantage for Ciryl Gane. Interestingly, a higher striking output for Tom Aspinall, but that obviously is because his average fight time is 2 minutes and 2 seconds, and Ciryl Gane's is 14 minutes and 15 seconds. So obviously, strikes landed per minute 8, and your fights are 2 minutes long. He's landing 16 punches per fight on average, whereas Ciryl obviously is fighting for longer and landing more, but his strike count is going down. Both got a decent defense, 65% for Tom, 61% for Ciryl, 100% takedown accuracy and defense for Tom Aspinall. I don't think Cyryl's going to try and take him down, but I also don't know if Cyryl's going to be able to stop Tom taking him down. Yeah. I think this is a bad matchup for Ciryl Gane. And I like Ciryl, I like his game, I like the style that he has in the heavyweight division because it's very different. But I feel like the advantages that Ciryl has against most heavyweights, he doesn't have against Tom. And Tom's also got the punching power and the ground game to beat him. I think Tom's going to clean his clock. I think it's going to be one-sided. The only thing I will say about it, bless Ciryl, is I don't think it's going to be as one-sided as Ciryl versus John Jones. So what I'm expecting after this is, you didn't beat him as fast as John did. And I don't know whether that's playing on the back of Tom's mind, is like, how long does he have to beat him? Like, we should have a timer on the 2 minutes, 4 seconds.
Wow, you foresaw the shit talk even? I didn't even think about that.
That's the way I'd be going with it. I'd be like, yeah, but it took me less than a round. Like if Tom beats him in the second round, like John Jones,
kind of like the Khabib versus Islam versus Poirier situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, this guy improved too.
Exactly that. Yeah, exactly.
There's nobody talk about that.
But I also do think that Tom could beat John Jones's finish of Ciryl. I think Tom could knock him out in a minute. The thing I like about Tom, I was talking to Brett Okamoto yesterday about this, and I'm interested to hear the piece that he's written because he's spoken to a bunch of people and he's writing a piece about this matchup and about Tom's training, from what I understand. Tom's got this same side attack that he uses, right? He used it in his debut against I can't remember his name now, but I was on the call for that one. Do you remember the middleweight that had gone up to heavyweight? And he went knee to punch in that one.
Yeah.
Hang on, where is it? Jake Collier. And then he did the same thing to Alan Baudo. That was a knee to an elbow.
I have that written down.
He did the same thing to, was it Sergey Pavlovich? A knee to an elbow. Same side attack. It's very difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
Like the other person I remember doing it was Overeem. And I don't know whether a part of the reason is because he's studying these guys and he's learning what works, or partly because that just works for him in his frame. I'd be really interested to watch his sparring sessions with Rico Verhoeven, because I mean, in the interviews that Rico's done, he looks very genuine when he's saying like Tom's striking is elite, and I would imagine
he's looking sharp on the pads. Plus, he has a neck tattoo. He's unstoppable. His confidence. He's now the heavyweight champion. He has a neck tattoo.
There we go.
He's like filling out his tattoos. He's like he's like feeling himself. When it started, he was like, oh, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to take my time and stuff. And now he's like, John Jones, you're a duck. Yeah. He rubber ducky thing. Comes out, gets a neck tattoo, fills out. Now he has his own gym.
That's it. He beat Volkov. He's got Volkov's back tattoo. He absorbed it off him.
I don't know. I feel like things are going for him. I don't want to pick against.
And the other thing as well is he's got a wicked team around him.
Yeah,
he's got a really good team. His dad there is a coach, but also the people that have gravitated towards him. Rico obviously for kickboxing, but then he's also got Ante Delia's there. He's got good people around him. Mick Parkin's there.
You know who he also has? His brother, who's also massive and is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and they've been grappling against each other since
If you were a referee, that's how you start a fight. Are you ready? Go. Are you ready? Murder. That's what you did. It was just and they've been grappling.
They go forward, right? I should know. I did the referee course. Whatever.
Yeah, you should know. You should know where the fighters are going to be in the cage if you're the referee. That's a good point.
Anyway, what are we talking about?
This is a short conversation. I don't see how you're going to make an argument for Ciryl. Bless him.
I was like him against Volkov. He was like looking good, and then he goes for a heel hook, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
I even thought that when Marcus Davis did it to me.
If that works in the anytime anybody does that to me, I'm like, thank you. I will get up and I will punch you. What did you do?
Terrible idea.
But it's just the fact that like sometimes, let's say it works in the gym, right? Let's say he subs everybody. But of course you're going to tap to a heavyweight, dropping for a heel hook. You're not going to risk to see if the technique was good before you tap. What do you...
No.
You tap. Yeah, whatever. Okay, we continue.
That reminds me of the Fright Pass video that they kept showing yesterday.
Oh, that
is so good.
Yeah.
Jamie, you probably won't have seen it. There's this new Fright Pass advert that they're running on between UFC fights to advertise what they're doing, this thing that they're doing for Halloween. But there's just this overhead shot of Frank Mir snapping Nagira's arm. And it's just like all the way through, it's just mad shots of like bad knockouts and all kinds of crazy stuff. But then the way that they time it, the music it hits and it just goes snap at the same time. It's perfect. It's really good.
Forrest Griffin did a good job acting.
He did a good job. Yeah. It's funny. I agree with you. Like they're not going to be taking the time to fight out of these positions because it's just too risky. If you get it wrong, you're out for 9 months. Yeah.
So you would tap like. Yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen?
Unfortunately, I think not really. Unfortunately, I really like Aspinall. Aspinall is super cool with me, But I've known Ciryl Gane for a lot longer.
Yeah.
And he's also been super cool with me. So I hope they both come out good. You both getting a lot of money, so there's that positive. So I'm not that sad about one of you knocking each other out because at least you're gonna get paid. A little bit.
Yeah. And then you can cross over into boxing and make some real money.
Yeah. But the thing that I struggle with Gane is like he's a giant individual. Yeah. He should be starching people.
He should.
But
he's never attached to the floor though, is he?
No.
That's my thing that's annoying about. And the thing that makes no sense about his style and the size of the MMA factory is that it's like it's like a tennis court. I like it because it's small and it forces people to work, but I don't know how he gets the time to practice that movement.
Well, he probably trains at a separate time.
He must train on a football pitch or something because like there's not enough space in that gym to move, especially with the bags up as well.
But he does do movement within angle changes. So he does. You've seen him change direction over and over again which is where he gets his best punches.
Yeah.
Right? Or lead uppercuts to direction change to step throughs, like all that movement with his legs. He does use it well, but like he's just missing the sit down to the punch.
That's the bit.
And that's the difference with Aspinall.
But the other thing is some fighters don't need to be as connected to the floor. They've got enough power generating connections here and in their midsection. Even some people don't need their midsection. Ray Cooper, I don't know what that is, but that's just a different kind of power. It's almost like people need to recruit more of their body the less natural power they have. Natural power. The less localized power they've got. Like Ray Cooper, Paul Daly's another good example, right? They've got like this localized power where if they hit you with this arm, and they're able to move this arm in comparison to their body, it generates enough power to knock you out, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I don't have that power. Shane Carwin had that power, right? Those kind of fighters stand out because it looks almost supernatural.
Yeah, I remember like Paul Daly. That was like it was supernatural. It wasn't.
It's death touch. It's just a different thing. But that's what? Like to me, like making logic of it is it's the connection of the muscles to the bones which creates the leverage, right? A fighter like me, I know I need to have my feet in the right place and I need to engage my core and my body mechanics need to be on point to generate the same kind of power that Paul can do with his arm and shoulder, right? So it's not like Ciryl Gane doesn't have the ability to sit down and crack. It's just that when he's striking generally in the fights, he's very flighty and on his toes. So he's whatever power he creates is based on the momentum of the movement and not on the momentum of the body.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the technical words for this, but it's making sense in my head. So if it's not making sense to you, then tell me. But when he sits down, when he has the opportunity to sit down, like the Tai Tuivasa finish, right, comes to mind because Tai was about cooked. He was vulnerable for punches, and Ciryl didn't settle down and go Mike Tyson style tight punches. He brought his fist all the way back behind him and swung it like it was a kettlebell on a rope, right? And that shows me that he doesn't have the body mechanics in the pocket to be able to generate power, not because he can't, because he's not learned it. Like, I feel like it wouldn't take long. It'd be like a week's worth of training to give him that range. Like, anchor his feet, sit down, understand the connection of his feet and his base to the floor and how that relates to the movement of his upper body and his shoulders to generate power, right? Like Jack Dempsey said, any man over 200 pounds should be able to knock anybody else out. Ciryl Gane shouldn't feel like he needs to bring his arms all the way back here to generate power to hurt somebody. And even then, I mean, Ty's difficult to knock out anyway, but that's an inefficient use of his athleticism, because that's taking a lot longer to come. He's not then controlling the direction that he's landing. So when he's landing, it's all manner of area of the glove and the hand, right? Like, imagine you shave off 10% of his point fighting in and out of range style, and you gave him 10% Mike Tyson knockout inside. Even though he doesn't have the same kind of body mechanics that Mike Tyson had, so he wouldn't naturally generate the same kind of power, by giving him the correct mechanics, he's going to be able to generate more power, and he'll be able to knock more people out.
Okay. Just question here. Do you think any of that has to do with him as a person?
No.
Right? Like, it's spoken about too before.
He's always on the bands and stuff.
No, yeah, he actually is always on the bands. It's like crazy. Like,
I do think that's a part of it.
But no, not on the bands. About, like, he never wants to hurt anybody. He's always like, you know. No, because like Mike Tyson always, like, he can sit down on a punch because he means it.
No, yeah, there is that.
Core. He wants to.
We need emotional content.
He doesn't need that much. Like, he needs to calm down. With you.
There is a different energy with that. And Paul Daly had that energy, and Ray Cooper's got that energy.
Yeah, and like there's
I agree with you.
I've even seen it in women's strawweight division that they just want to hit you, like Jessica Andrade wants to hit you. She doesn't care how she hits you, but she wants you on the floor.
Yeah, for sure. Like I will say the intention is something, and but that's not quantifiable. Like, I can't quantify that as a coach. Like, I can recognize that in somebody if they've got it, but it's not like if Cyryl's.
You still need to address it.
Yes, and no, but you would need to address it if it's not there, and you would need to address it by highlighting the fact that it's not there, which is not always necessarily a good thing for the fighter, especially depending on when you're doing it, right? Like, say for example, if Ciryl came here to train with us for a couple of weeks, I'd be like, okay, like, your outside game is great. Most of these heavyweights can't touch you. You're too fast. You're too agile. I'd add a couple of things to his outside game that would give him a bit more variety and make him a bit less predictable on the outside. But I would change his inside game. I would go like because the thing is, right, in that moment where he's fighting Tai Tuivasa, even if in his heart of hearts he's not filled with rage and trying to murder him with these punches like Ray Cooper would with his, right? Even if he's not like John Lineker, for example, right? John Lineker's like, he's a very, very powerful fighter for his for his size. But sometimes he gets wild. Now, he can get wild and still be powerful, but his power's still there if he's in the pocket and he's throwing better technique. Like, what that finish against Tai Tuivasa showed me is that his intention to hurt him is there. Whether it's to win the fight or to break his face, it doesn't matter. Right? His intention is to finish the fight there with those strikes. So he's trying as hard as he can to hit him. As hard as he can.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying as hard as he can to hit him as hard as he can. But he's doing it with poor technique, which is why he's not generating the force that he should do as a 250-pound muscle freak. Because he is. I mean, he's a specimen, you know? But maybe what I would say as well, because I remember you mentioning this, it stuck in my mind, is that he's always on the bands. He's doing a lot of band work. And I know a lot of fighters that do that stuff, and they're very stable and strong generally, but they don't have that explosiveness that you would get if you were a sprinter powerlifter. So maybe there is something in his training that he would need to do as well. I'd certainly have him doing some plyometric stuff with his lower body that's not like jumping rope for 30 minutes, because he could do that no problem. I'd want him jumping with a heavy bar for like 2 reps and then having a 5-minute rest and then go again. Do you know what I mean? Like something that's gonna
make him feel more weighted.
Something that's gonna educate his body to generate power, as opposed to be springy, which is what he is now.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but I don't think it's a difficult fix for him.
Yeah.
It just needs to. It's a piece of his game that needs to be plugged in, and he doesn't have it right now. And that's where he's going to get exposed against Tom if he's not made that adjustment, because Tom's got that switch off power in range.
Yeah. The thing that I find may give him difficulties in the beginning for Tom, like let's say this fight doesn't end in the first 2 minutes like all of Tom's fights do, but in the beginning when he's trying to figure out his range and he's moving, like he does create a lot of angles and he doesn't always come in the same, but sometimes this lead hand doing this and he can go forward in a straight line and get like touched with something. I mean, he right away makes the adjustment. The guy thinks he's still going to be the same, and then he knocks him out, which is why he's doing it so quickly.
Yeah.
Especially because you can see him now, his body's in a different position and his punch is coming over the top and pinpoint accuracy to the temple.
Yeah. Okay, but so then consider this, right? So say if you take a fighter like MVP, right, who has got that long range, side on, bouncy, in and out point style, right? MVP can play that against anybody that can't do it and can make them look very, very amateurish, right? But if you put MVP in a bare knuckle ring against Mike Perry, and Mike Perry's quite happy to get your snot all over his face because he doesn't care how close he is, that style just gets shut down very, very quickly, right? Whereas if you then go MVP versus Wonderboy, that's a way more even matchup. But the difference then is that MVP's the one that's got the power. And that's the same situation here. Is like Tom can play the Ciryl Gane game if he wants to, but he can do it with knockout power as well. So like in a circumstance where you've got a long range fighter that's got power and a long range fighter that doesn't, I'm always going to take the fighter with power, right? But that means that Ciryl is going to have to fight at that range, and he's going to have to do it for the duration of the fight, which means he's got 25 minutes to get clipped by Tom or taken down and smashed.
Yeah.
I just don't.
I think like
it's going to be a long, hard work of a night for Ciryl Gane if he's going to do it, and it's going to be like edging it.
Yeah.
It's going to be like Gustafsson Jones, where it gets to the end and you're like, like it could be close either way. Maybe I'm overestimating Tom, but I don't even think he's really scratching the surface.
I think like his striking isn't even his good part.
I'd be interested to see how he's grappling.
Like especially watching the beginning fights of his career. Obviously, like he still, defeated them quite quickly. But it was the fact that as soon as like it got a little bit out of his complete control, he just grappled and beat him like immediately. It was like it was
backup plan.
Yeah, it was just like the whatever. If all else fails, just push this button. Like with Volkov, the way that he set up that takedown was sick. And he was already using the Kimura to stop him from getting away from the fence, which means he twisted his hips, created a diagonal control, like all of it. Well, see, it looked levels above his striking, I think his grappling did. And his striking, I'm like, is already really good. And I think his grappling is seriously something that he's kept secret.
Yeah.
You know,
I wonder if we're gonna get anybody
that's
gonna.
I think like Almeida would be the person. That's why he's also in the card. Like, let's say Almeida wins, right, by some grappling thing, and let's say Tom scores a knockout, right? Then there's like, oh yeah, but can you grapple?
Yeah.
The only thing for me about this fight is, like, the pressure is on Tom. Because so much happened with the Jones fight that if the Jones fight would have happened, it wouldn't have been as much pressure as you better not lose to the guy that Jones beat in 30 seconds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there is that. And I think the only real pressure comes from, can I beat him faster than Jones? And if that's playing into his mind, that might be dangerous.
Not. Yeah, I really...
But it's like, so...
I don't think you'll watch this, Tom, but like...
Oh,
chill,
he
man. Just
will
have
be.
fun.
He definitely will be. He always calls me up. He's like, hey, what's Veronica saying about this fight? Is she? I know her picks are like 100%. So I just want to get her thoughts on it. I was chatting with Brett about this yesterday, and we were talking about Andy Aspinall and the game planning and the training and stuff. And one thing that is, I think, is a benefit. Obviously, is having his father there. His dad's trained him for this particular position, but his dad's also objective about what's in front of him and the smartest and safest route to victory, right? And he's made it look so easy. And there are two things that make me feel like it's been easy for him. One of them was the fact that he kind of carried Arlovsky in that first round. Like, if I was his dad, I would have been like, hey, like, just go and get him. I know it's Andrei Arlovsky, but don't show him the respect that you are, because the longer you leave it, the more dangerous it gets.
I think he got into the sport because of Arlovsky.
But
or
that's
something
the thing
like
is,
that. Like,
but that's
Arlovsky was a big part in...
But that exactly highlights it, though, doesn't it? Is because like the risk there was for him to not go out and finish, because it's heavyweight and it could go wrong at any moment. Like, we're not expecting Ciryl Gane to knock him out, but that doesn't mean Ciryl Gane won't knock him out. Like, there is a genuine risk there, and that risk is way higher at heavyweight because they're heavyweights. But like you mentioned, the Volkov fight there, in that first round with that Kimura that he had up against the fence, and he just let go of it. Like, he let go of the grip. And it was big. That's fight IQ, 100%. But it's fight IQ coupled with confidence, because like in other circumstances, the fighter, even with high fight IQ, wouldn't have had the confidence to let go of it, because they'd have been like, "This is too good of an opportunity. I've got to chase it."
Yeah.
Whereas he was like, "Nah, this Kimura don't feel right to me." He just took his arm out and then went to knees to the body, and then ended up using the same position in the center of the cage a bit later on. Like, it's like the skills and the training and the team around him and the confidence and the fight IQ and the size and the athleticism. I mean, he's literally got everything he needs.
And the neck tattoo.
And the neck tattoo.
And he follows me on Instagram.
Come on now.
Bam. No, but so does Ciryl. So that cancels out.
Well, that's no good then.
I know.
So we can't share any of this content on Veronica's Instagram because she's going to upset somebody.
No, for real though.
Oh, you're genuinely not.
Yeah, I don't want them to like.
I didn't know that. I didn't know we could sit on the fence. It's called picks. It says
okay.
Picks.
I am picking,
Outlawed pick
but
on
I
the
don't
fence
want.
podcast.
I don't want them to know because, I'm cool with both
so
of them.
You're picking in your head,
and I don't want it to be.
And you're just gonna tell everybody you hope it's a great fight.
No, I picked out loud. I think Aspinall's gonna do it. Yeah, but I think I don't think it's gonna be as simple. I think Cyryl's like legitly skilled, and I think he's leveled up. Yeah. He took down Volk in the fight, and that was pretty slick. I think he's constantly working, but I think Aspinall is just one of those, one of those guys that's come to reign for a while.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Gane, Aspinall came kind of at the same time.
Yeah. And he's got iron shins as well, hasn't he, Jamie?
Love you both.
Have you still got that clip of that from Cage Warriors? Do you remember the leg break? We should just play it right at the end. We should put a disclaimer up. What you're about to see now is not pleasant, but it's a good example of... it came to mind the other day because it was a good example of Tom's character as well. Like, not only is he very, very dangerous, but he was trying to help him out of the cage, trying to help with the stretcher. He was like apologetic about it. It was like, you know,
dude, Tom's
same
a
with
solid
Ciryl
dude.
Gane. He doesn't want to hurt anybody, but
Yeah.
if you put your face in front of his fist, he's going to put a hole in it.
I feel like Tom's a bit more okay hurting people.
He just hides it better than yeah. Okay, fair enough.
It's just like the British, you know, like.
But we're both picking Tom.
Yeah,
I think Tom's going to stop him, and I think it's going to be, if it's second round, I'll be surprised. I think he's going to try and get him out of there fast. And so does Jamie. Jamie's going. Jamie knows. What do you think? You think it's going to be a decision, or do you think we're going to get a finish?
No, I think we're gonna get a sub.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ankle lock. Imanari roll.
No, none of that. No falling for leg locks.
No.
Stop.
Can we get her on? We've got her on tape saying that, Jamie, right? Okay, we'll just...
Okay, yeah, I learned my lesson on falling for leg locks already, like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Okay, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a really good one. Okay, it is 7:31 p.m., which means that
Sumo's on. Sumo time. That's it.
Come on,
Belly
Shishi.
butt.
Come on, Shishi.
The salt going.
Gonna throw the salt. I love it. Jamie, I'm gonna put it on in a minute. You're gonna dig it.
It's sick.
I love the attitude and the stare down.
It's
There was
sick.
the stare down yesterday. The last matchup was brilliant. Because they come together a couple of times and then they like squat down and they'll touch your knuckle to the floor.
Oh, when they lift their leg up?
That's the one guy. What's his
I don't know.
Wata
I can't even get like the easy names right.
Wata Takanagi.
He can't get it right either.
Honestly,
but this guy like lifted his
full
leg
splits.
up like in his split and he like held it.
It's very impressive.
What?
It's very impressive. No,
Yeah.
there's been some really, really good matches. So I'm gonna get.
Plus,
I'm gonna
like
get it
the
on there.
pictures of, because it's happening in London at the Royal Albert Hall, which is like super cool
It's where
venue.
UFC 38 was.
Yeah,
It's grand.
yeah, it's very like how you would
We saw
picture.
Incubus there, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
But they've been going around London and they're like kimonos and getting photos, and it's just like the best thing.
Oh, that is Just search the hashtag
Sumo London. Like it's a really popular
Like
one.
they're riding around on the bikes in London. It's awesome. I love it. They
With,
seem like a
patting
good bunch
some
of
bears.
guys.
Yeah,
Where's
I'm
my
gonna
remote
try and
control?
hang out with them.
Right, so we'll wrap this now, and I'm going to put the sumo on. It's been lovely to see you all again. Thank you for joining us. It's been very nice to be in an official podcasting position. Normally, you just listen to me nattering into the...
It's okay. You listen to me talk a lot of nonsense.
Facts. Enjoy these fights. UFC 321. 3, 2, 1. You're back in the room. We'll see you next time.